Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm just gonna immediately say it. This is the last time I talk about Maximus the Cyborg. Today I am kind of going to have a little bit of a rant slash vent and also discuss his latest video a tiny bit. Now, I've known Max for 6 years, and this whole thing has got me really, really depressed. When I first met Max, I considered him a really good friend, one of my bestest friends online. But one day he started sending me weird photos from the internet, photos from the show My Little Pony, and also weird cow fetishes. Now, because I was a boy and I've already kind of been exposed to corn with a P instead of a C as a child, Playboy magazines, for instance, it didn't really bother me too much. But I was around 13 or 14. But that's besides the point. I used to like the shit out of Max, and he used to be a very good friend, considerate friend, and very understanding from time to time. And I didn't care that he was a little bit weird. I thought that was the great thing about him, is that he was a weirdo. He wanted to do almost like anything, just hang out, be in voice calls, and that's something I wasn't getting from any other friend. But, things started to change between him. We have other friends. I have their OCs, so I could start showing who these people are. This is my version of them. But I have the friend Random Shadow, and I have the friend Flutterfan. But actually, let me get more deep into that if I really need to. The whole Max situation actually ended some relationships, and the sad part is that I still stuck by his side. Even before that, the reason why my relationships ended was because I was sticking by his side. And all I wanted him to do was just leave for a bit and come back 6 months later as a whole different person, and he didn't even do that. This started in March, where I told him, hey, just do 6 months and then we would be done. You would be our friend again. Now, in a week, it would be exactly 6 months from when I told him to do the 6 months. But this whole time, it has only been the 6 months I've been talking about. March, do 6 months. April, do 6 months. May, do 6 months. June, do 6 months. July, do 6 months. He hasn't even done 1 month, so I couldn't go to 5 months, 4 months, 3 months. That's why I keep saying 6 months. He still hasn't even done 1 month. He still hasn't even done 1 week. The most he has done is 1 day, and then he goes and whines on YouTube whenever I don't talk about him. Whenever I do absolutely nothing to him, I leave him be, go on to games like Roblox and hang out on Roblox, and then he gets upset because I haven't accepted his friend request immediately. Now, we used to be really good friends, and I don't know what really changed besides all of this. I don't really know what made him change into this, really. I am just very upset that all of this had happened, and it's got me so upset that I stay up late, and I even cry a little bit. I know that sounds a little bit pathetic, but I mean, it's that bad. It's so bad that I literally stay up late and I end up crying to myself because all I can do is feel horrible. He says a bunch of horrible things about me, and then he starts being selfish and talks about everything about him, his whole entire life story. I haven't even talked about my life story because there's no need to. It's YouTube. Nobody wants to hear your life story. And I get it. He did have some sad stuff happen to him. He did get beaten by some weird, pathetic guy. But at the end of the day, my thoughts of it is, if someone is beating my mom, as her son, I'm going to defend her honor. I'm not going to stand there and watch her get beaten. It doesn't matter how big the guy is. Eventually, you're just going to beat the shit out of him. I can say for sure that it would work in the end. I fight my dad all the time, and it does get into fist fights. And before, I was a weakling because I was very young. Now I'm at the age where I could probably knock someone out, and I'm only 18. He's 21. He's at the age where he should be able to fight, but he can't. Instead, all he could do is make YouTube posts and try to friend me on Discord and talk to me on Discord and tell me to kill myself. Tell all of my friends that they should kill themselves. Wish death upon me because I'm a little bit sick. And even say that he's glad that I'm sick. Glad that I might die because of it. Just some really awful shit. And then he goes and doesn't even give me an apology. He hasn't even given me an apology for all of that shit he said. All he said was, "Oh, but it was just me being angry. It wasn't real. I didn't actually mean it." Which is very dumb and pathetic to say, because he did mean it. When I'm angry, and I know this is the same thing with everybody, when you're angry, all you want to spat out is what's on your mind. Like how I am a little bit right now. And that's what he was saying while he was angry. He admitted that he was saying this because he was angry, which is just straight up him saying he did intentionally mean it. He acts like because he was angry, that means it wasn't him. But even if that was the case, it still was said. It still was said. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. He told my girlfriend, Eris, his ex, who he claims he really loves, the girl he really wants back, to go kill herself. He told my other girlfriend, Corey, who appears on here every now and then, to go kill herself. The same thing with one of my friends, Fredbear Ninja, who is going to be in a live stream here soon. We're probably going to be playing GTA 5 on Twitch. He told him to go kill himself. And last but not least, me, his best friend. He claims to call me his best friend. I'm still stuck by his side. The fucked up part is he doesn't even understand that these videos are not made to target him. They're made to make him understand that it's a bad situation. He done something bad, and he even mentioned this in the call. If you guys watched his stream, which I don't recommend watching if you haven't, but he did mention somewhere in his stream that he was pretty much blaming it on someone else when it came to the minor stuff, even though the person who also was talking with him was a minor. And I'm of course talking about Void, one of our friends, Void. He brought Luna into a call with Max, but here's the part that just really phases me that he forgets to explain. He could have left the call any time. He could have just said, "Oh, this is weirding me out. I'm an adult. I'm going to leave." And he didn't. He stayed. But not only that, I wasn't even talking about the fact that it was him talking with Luna and Void. It was the fact that he was himself talking in DMs with Luna, and trying to get nudes, which he did end up getting from a 15-year-old. And that's the part that phases me, is he wants to blame it on somebody else, and karma already hit Void. I'm not 100% sure about the whole entire thing, but my perspective of it is because of all of that. He ended up losing his girlfriend, who was also my ex, Random Shadow. At least that's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it still affected Void in some scenario, because people looked at him a little bit differently, and it was discussed at one point. That's actually how I first talked to Random Shadow, is I talked about the topic of Void and why it was kind of weird. And she didn't actually mind it at first. She was just saying that's typical Void stuff. It's just a certain limit. So that's also why I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't actually the case between breaking up. But either way, I think it's just disappointing that he's either blaming it on Void or he's blaming it on somebody else. He's not taking full accountability on what he did, even though that's not really what we're asking for. We're just making videos talking about the topic, giving our own opinions about it. Dubshade giving their own experience about it. And his response is, "Oh, you guys are fucking horrible. You're making me look bad. You're making me look bad. You're horrible people because you're making me look bad." But we aren't making him look bad. He's the one who made himself look bad. All these allegations were made because they were true. I was the person firsthand seeing them. All this stuff that gets talked about in PT and all the stuff that gets talked about on YouTube is because I was the first person to talk about it. I told him that he was a pedophile and he needed to come clean about it in a group chat, so it wasn't even public. It was just a group chat. Get out of here. Get out of here. Out on. But it was a group chat that I told him that he just needs to come clean about it. He'd been exposed for being a pedophile for the first time when it came to Luna, and all I asked for him was to expose himself to the group chat, so that way they were aware that they were working with a pedophile. And then I created a vote if they wanted to be working with this pedophile, which obviously they didn't want to be working with him, which is understandable. So we stopped using that group chat, and we eventually got into a Discord server without him, and we even permabanned him. But yeah, the topic is just disappointing. Even a little bit right now, I'm still very sad about it. Still kind of want to cry a little bit about it. He acts like I'm a bad person too, when all I want is for him to get better. These videos are made so he can get better. They're not targeting him. They're not me saying, "Hey, go jump off a bridge" or something. No, that's only when I'm talking about serious people like the Jill faker. They are a content stealer, which is horrible. Max did do horrible things with a minor, but this was months ago, and it seems like he is wanting to change. But I keep trying to remind him, and I'll still remind him, I need to see change first. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, is the Max situation. And give my final talk about it. He used to be a good friend of us, and now we're just people who he used to know. And it's very sad. Very sad. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.